I'm just kidding. All right, I don't need my notes for this next speaker. The next speaker I want to introduce you to is someone who I don't think he quite realizes how much he impacted me by something that he did which was very, very simple. And it's not necessarily because what he did, it's more about the part of the industry that he represents. So I decided to get into the coaching space, the mentoring space, the speaking space. The speaking space was not something I actually had plans on getting into. It's just something that I realized I'm going to have to do in order to grow the impact. Do you understand that? Sometimes you've got to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, and then you actually realize, I think I'm all right at this. Maybe I've found my real passion. And what I decided to do is I wrote down a list of all the companies that I would dream to speak for. And I started, basically, when I went onto the internet and just typed in the most successful network marketing companies ever. And it's always in terms of revenue, right? Not in terms of opportunity, in terms of revenue. So I was writing these names down, and you'll know a lot of them because we use a lot of them in presentations and stuff like that. And I'm writing them down. And as I'm writing them down, I'm thinking like, yeah, no chance, no chance, no chance, no chance, no chance, no chance, no chance. Probably, yes, definitely. And one of my friends, you heard from her yesterday, her name's Perry, she contacted me and said, are you cool if I give your number to one of my uplines. And when someone's doing really well and they say uplines, you're thinking, okay, they must be serious. And this guy calls me up, and the first 5 minutes of the conversation was basically an interrogation. And I was just like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. What's the reason for you going into the coaching space and moving in? And I was giving the reasons, telling my story. After 5 minutes of interrogation, he was like, I really like you. Would you be open to speaking at my next leadership event? And I remember being on the phone going, and looking at my list, because my list is always on my table. And I remember saying yes, and he said, let's sort it, let's do it. And I crossed the name of the company out. I put a little tick by it and then crossed it out. And that event that he invited me to speak at was the one event that gave me the confidence that allowed me to think I can speak on any stage. Not from an ego point of view, just from I can actually do this. And if it wasn't for this guy, I don't know if I'd still be battling that fight. I just want you to understand that story. So as well as being an absolute awesome person and a great friend to me, he texts me at least once a week just to say thank you for what I'm doing. And I really, really do appreciate that because he doesn't have to do that. He's not just a great friend, but he was also last year voted the DSA Mentor of the Year. So, yeah. But you guys need to get your energy up because he will be raising his energy. He's borderline nuts, right? Because he's just so awesome. So I want you to give him a massive Success Summit 3 round of applause and welcome to Kristján Kristjánsson! All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. All right, there you go. Thank you, mate. All right.
Good morning. Good morning. How are we today? What an awesome yesterday. I'm so thankful for Frazer, what everything he's doing. So I just love coming here, and I'm grateful that he allows me to come and do this and trust me to come and stand in front of you guys. So thank you for allowing me to be here today. Today I'm going to go a little bit into what mindset is all about. And when you look at what mindset is about, it's first and foremost to me is that every single person in this room, you speak on average about 300 words a minute to yourself. I'm going to prove it to you. So for the next 5 seconds, don't say a single word to yourself starting now. Don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything. Or you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problem is that when you're doing these kind of things is that most of us, the words that we are speaking to ourselves, the general public, is that they are talking negatively to themselves. You know, I'm not good enough for that, I can't do this, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't look the part, whatever it is. I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that. what is interesting when this happens is that your words become your thoughts, okay? And your thoughts are going to be your feelings, and when you have, negative feelings, your actions are going to be like, okay. And it's all about body language and perspective and stuff like that. Can I ask all of you to do me a little favor? Can you do this for me, just in your seat? Just put your hands up like you're winning, okay? But at the same time, be really sad in your face. Like, it feels awkward, doesn't it? It doesn't fit the part to do it like that. What is interesting now, especially in the society we live in right now, we have all these smartphones and smart devices and stuff like that. What do we do when we are looking at them? We don't look at them like this. We look at them down here. And what is the body language telling us when we are like this? Again, go like this and be really happy in your face. Again, it feels awkward, okay? So we are going through this all day long with our social media and then post and all that kind of stuff, and we're always being in a body language is negative. So we need to protect what we're doing. So it's really important when you do that is that the results of what you're doing when you're talking to yourself, your actions is going to go in a bad way in that sense. So same things. If you look at the same slides here again, and we go and say what is interesting when you talk to yourself in a negative way, it is going to lead into. Let's go back here to this one because it ends up with a success here. Okay, slides are not coming up. No problem. So we are looking at when you talk negatively to yourself in that kind of angle, what is interesting is that you're always going to be having a failure out of that. But success and failure comes in two parts, doesn't it? You can't have just one or either. It always comes in the same action. So when you're doing it in a negative way, it's going to lead to a failure. But when you do it in a positive way, it's going to come to success. So whatever you are focusing on is what is going to come through. So what I say often that focus is the same as being pregnant. What I mean by that? Can you be half pregnant or almost pregnant? You either are or you're not. Same with focus. When you are focused in the business, it's so clear there. Whatever you think is going to come through, okay? You think you're going to be successful, it's going to come through. You think you're not going to be good enough for these kind of things, or you can't do this, it's going to come through. So you have to be important. What is here is that success and failure always comes in a package of two. What is interesting here is that you've all heard this, we're average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But here is something that is interesting when you look at how we are brought up and what we do. Have you ever, who is parent in here? What did you do when the first time you saw a kid stand up and let go and he started to do this? What did you do? You went mad. Camera! Camera! Oh, bring the camera! Oh! You went absolutely mad going to find the camera. And that's what happened. The child was going there and then poof, the child fell off and then fell off again and again and again. And what happened? The child is not going to just, go there like, oh, blah, blah, oh, I don't think this walking part is for me. I'm just going to be doing this all day. It's not going to happen, It's all about what is in front of us and duplication. That's what it's on. I only want you guys to look at this with an open mindset. That's what it's all about. You have to look at it with an open, positive mindset because every single day you have a choice. It's up to you. You can sit on this side of the bus or you can sit on the other side of the bus. Where do you want to be? If you are on the negative side, like Frazer talks, the loser land in that sense, we got to help people to understand the power of our own thoughts is really important. What is interesting here is that you should not listen to yourself negative talk, okay? It's really powerful when you are going through these kind of interesting things there, is that when you are focusing on just the negativity, you're going to produce negativity, and you draw that in. So that's why I personally believe in miracle mornings and win the morning like some of the speakers talked about yesterday. And what is interesting here is that you have to focus on the right couple of things that you do. Set you up for the day. We talk about it's good to read or listen to something for 20 minutes a day, at minimum. If you look at these 2 glasses, you see there is a really dirty water in here. This is unfortunately, and before I keep on going, I'm going to say, excuse my language. Unfortunately, this is how many of you, maybe not you guys, but people out there, are looking at life through shit. They're looking at life like this, going around, oh, no, I don't like my life, this is bad, this is this, this is this. And they're just looking at, it's just shit. Your heads are full of shit, okay? You need to clean out this shit. That's important. And that you do with daily motivation. If I take this clean water and I pour a little bit in here, is this going to go clean? What if I just keep going and do this again and 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 just keep going? What's going to happen in the end? If I just constantly focus on the clean water, sorry, or the mess. If I just constantly focus on, so when I have that glass there, I'm going to focus on putting more positive things into the glass, okay? All the time. I'm going to put positive stuff into my shit vision, okay? Some of you are wearing glasses. If I would come down, take your glasses, put some dirt on it, and put it back on, you couldn't see anything, is it? That's how many people are looking at life. Through, a fog or through some shit, and they have to focus on making that better. So when you do this all the time, you keep going, keep doing, one day your vision is going to be clear. And that is what we need to help people to get over that vision. We need to help people to understand that it's okay to deal with it from a different angle. We all can be the master of our own mind. It's all about how we look at life. I personally decided one day to have a test. So I was in London, and I decided that day I was just going to be miserable. I just decided I was just going to be, whatever happened, it was a task for me, I'm just going to be really miserable. So when I walked out of the apartment, I went down, people said good morning, I was like, Monty, good morning. Like, was really, everything that happened, I can tell you, I failed in that task because half through the day, I was getting so depressed and miserable. I was like, I can't deal with this. I just want to have positivity. I personally, I love people, okay? And I love to, if I can help somebody or do something, I'm there for them. Doesn't matter who they are, where they're coming from. And that what is interesting when you look at it from that angle is that you have to love what you're doing. When you can see it from that angle is that whatever you're doing, when you love what you do, it brings success. I've been doing this now for 22 years. My first year in the business, I came into network marketing because I was running my own businesses and I had really financial cash flow problems, so I joined network marketing. My first year, I had no success. I failed and I failed and I failed, and that was because of me. I thought it was about me doing all the things and me getting the limelight and me being the guy and me knowing everything. But I was so wrong. A year into the business, I was taught this is not about me. It's about how many other people we can impact and help, okay? And ever since I learned that lesson, things started to change for me and my family. And what is interesting here is that I never feel like I'm working. I've been doing this, like I said, 22 years. 5 years, I took about 5.5 years off, semi-retired in the business because of personal circumstances when my son was born long-term ill. He's 14 today, strong as an ox, so everything is okay. But in the beginning, it was tough. And I had to really work on everything there. And what was interesting when we took the steps of doing that is that I decided to step a little bit back from the business. But when things started to get good again, I said to my wife, I want to go back to sea. I'm from Iceland. Have you been to Iceland? Yes. Some of you? The rest of you haven't been. Can you please go and spend some money? We need it. That would be really, really good if you can do that for me. So, but in Iceland, we are like a fisherman nation. So I said to my wife, I want to go back to sea. And I want to go back out in the field. And my wife said, yeah, no problem, just don't do that. And I, ever since then, I probably have worked harder in the last couple of years than I did in the beginning. Because I just love to go out there and, talk about what we do. And I never feel like I'm working. What I just want to ask you guys to do is when you are going there, you are looking at the start of your journey, whatever company you're in, whatever you're doing, you're looking at, how should I start? What should I do? What kind of start should I have? I say to you guys, it doesn't really matter. Just get started, okay? What was interesting is that Frazer and myself, we were invited to Peter's house one day, and lots of other people there. So we come into the garden, and we're in the house, and loads of other people, and Peter takes us out in the garden. He says, guys, you go and stand on that side of the swimming pool, and we go and stand on this side. And I'm like, okay. So we're standing there, and Peter goes and says, guys, the first person to jump in, I'm going to pay that person £50,000. And Frazer and myself looked at us and said, what, £50,000? But nobody jumped in. Nobody jumped in because in the pool, he had put some alligators and some little fishes and stuff like that. So nobody jumped in the pool, okay? So we were like, okay, nobody's going to. So he just started to race. And Peter is financially very well off. So he came to a number of 1.5 million, okay? And this young bloke, he's in the pool, He's swimming over, like, blah, 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 crazy. He comes up on the other end. He's all torn, all bloody. And Peter's like, oh my God, you sacrificed everything for 1.5. Do you know what the guy did? He turned around, who put me in the pool? Who pushed me in? Sometimes we just need to help our people just to push them a little bit into the pool. Okay? Just start, do something. It doesn't matter. Just go and do something. Just get started. You don't have to get great before you get started. You have to get started to become great. Okay? And that's what it's all about. So what is interesting here is, and this is one thing, I personally love our industry so much, and I'm so thankful. And I want all of you guys to stand up and give me your biggest cheer ever for Frazer Brooks, because what is interesting, guys, we as individuals are just one drop in the ocean. But together, we are the ocean, we are the message, and Frazer is helping us to put that together. So can you all stand up and do the crazy thing for Frazer Brooks? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. I am so grateful for Frazer. I had the privilege of meeting his parents at the last event, and I understand, he comes from a good breed, so that's why he is so he is. So thank you guys for bringing him into the world as well. What is interesting is that in our business, guys, is that you have to start to love rejection, okay? Did some of you, when you came to this, did you come in a plane? Like this, did you come in a plane? Do you know what a plane is? Okay? Have you been in a plane where the steward is walking up and down the aisle, is going, excuse me, sir, excuse me, madam, would you like a coffee or tea? Have you seen that happen? Have you also seen happen when they're walking down the aisle and they go and say, excuse me, like a coffee or tea? No, thank you. Have you seen the steward do this? Pilot, the lady in 4B didn't want coffee. Have you seen that happen? No, because they are trained to not take the no personally, okay? And that's what you guys have to do. You have to love the no. I absolutely love when people reject me. I love when people say no to me. I also know that in every room I go into, I am never the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'm never the smartest guy in the room. But one thing I know, I'm always the sexiest one. I know that. So what is interesting here is that, guys, that you have to love when people say no to you. That's really important, because when you do that, you love rejection. It's interesting because you have to, basically when you're doing this, is that, can you all say this word out loud to me? Goya? What does Goya mean? Get off your ass and do something. Go and get rejected. Go and talk to people. Get people to throw you off and tell no and all that. Just go and do that, guys. That's important. I came up here early. I picked up a friend of mine. I live in UK on the south coast. I picked up a friend of mine from Iceland, and we drove up here. And when we came here, I was lucky enough to meet Frazer and his beautiful girlfriend. And we went, I don't know if you've been there. It's a little bit sort of, about 20 minutes away from here. There's a little area where they have loads of frogs. Have you been there? It's beautiful. Yeah, I highly recommend you go there. So me and Frazer, we go there, and there's loads of frogs. And when we came there, what happened is that they had a really funny thing going on. There was a competition between the frogs. And we were like, okay, we love competition. Let's look at it. So me and Frazer are there looking at these frogs. And what happened is that these frogs were supposed to go and climb up a little tower, okay? And they had about 20 frogs in the competition climbing up these towers. What's interesting is that these frogs started to go, but all the other frogs, they are standing, or being down there, like, what were they doing? They were shouting at these frogs, "You are stupid! We are not meant to climb walls! We are not to do this!" And me and Frazer just looking at them, why are these guys shouting so much? It was an unbelievable experience to be there. I highly recommend you guys go and look at the Frog Town. And what is interesting is that they're going there, up and up and up, and one by one the frogs are falling off, doof, doof, and the other ones on the floor like, I told you, and laughing and stuff like that. What is interesting is that one frog just kept going, ding, 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 and he made it to the top. This one frog made it to the top. And me and Frazer are like, oh my God, he made it to the top. And then they got to talk to the frog and say, how did you make it to the top? Do you know what they found out? He was deaf. He couldn't hear what the other frogs were saying. Okay? So he couldn't hear when people were saying all the rejections, you can't make it in this business, you're going to fail, this is crap business, this network marketing doesn't work, it's a pyramid, this. You guys have to be deaf to that. Can you do that? Yes. Can you be that winning frog? Yes. Can you go out and just Goya, get off your ass and talk to people? Yes. That's the key thing in our business, Only thing you need to do is just to go out there and talk to people. I mentioned I come from Iceland. Have you ever, I don't know if you have it in this country. Do you have this in your country, wherever you're from? Deck of cards. You do? So it's not an Icelandic thing. Interesting. Because in a deck of cards, how many cards are in there? In your country as well? Wow. Iceland as well. They have 52 cards in there. How many aces do you have in a deck of cards? Really? Same in Iceland. Wow. So it's guaranteed if I start to look through these cards that I'm going to find an ace, isn't it? So if I start to take these cards and go through them, I can flip like, you've all met these guys, haven't you? We don't want to prosper the jokers. That's going to waste of time and take our time. So we keep on going. Oh, here's a product user. Have you ever... This is somebody we can get in, get to use the product. We can take, no, we keep that, sorry. We should keep the queen. She's using the products. And then, not so, he said, not for me, thank you. I walked away. And then we found an ace. Here we found our first diamond, first whatever, first great person. You want it. You have to go and work for it. It's not that easy. What is guaranteed in here now? How many more aces do we have? It's guaranteed, isn't it? And what do we have to do to find them? We have to go and do the work. We have to go and find the aces. They don't come to us. They don't come and say, please sponsor me into your business. They don't do that. We have to go and do the work, guys. And that's what's important in our industry is that you have to Goya. You have to go out there and do these things. Talk to people again and again and again and make this business happen. It doesn't happen automatically. I've been for a long time in this business. I call myself one of the dinosaurs because when I started the business, we had no internet, we had no emails, we had phones stuck to the wall. It's so different today, guys. And what is interesting when you're looking at this is that whatever you guys are doing, the road to success is always under construction, okay? You have to be a leader, pulling, and you have to be strong. Have I had interesting times in my business when things didn't go right? Yes, 100%. Have I had difficult times when I'm thinking about I should quit? Never, okay? I was taught that, stay in the business and never quit on the same day as your wife. My wife 3 times has said to me, let's just forget this business, let's do something else. Because we had ups and downs in the beginning. It wasn't easy, guys. Did somebody in here just have an easy journey? No. It is a little bit. I have been in traditional business. That's hard. Having staff working for you, that's hard. I've also been an employee with a company. That's hard. This business is child play compared to that, except your mindset. That's the hard part. When you work on your mindset on a daily basis and you clear out that shit in your head, you read something, you listen to something, you come to seminars like this is when things are going to work for you. Our journey, guys, in our business, we think our plan is just going to start. When I joined for the first time, I was like, I know that many people. I can do it in a split, And in Iceland, if somebody farts or does something, people know about it immediately. It's a huge population. Do you know how many people are in Iceland? It's huge. The whole population is 320,000 people, okay? That's how big Iceland is, okay? And so if something happens, everybody knows about it immediately. So I thought my plan was going to be like that, but oh boy, it was like this. It was really tough, okay? It wasn't an easy journey. This plan, it doesn't always go to what we want to do. What I want to show you here, guys, and I think all of you, it doesn't matter what company you're in, where you are looking at your company from the day one in a way that you see, okay, some of you are coming in just to be a product users or buy something, but I think most of you guys in here are here because you would become the leaders. Is that true? Yes. You want to succeed in this business and make it your lifestyle. Is that true? Yes. So when you see the compensation plan in your company, you look at, okay, what's the highest rank? I want to go there, okay? Whatever that is in your company, that is the reward. That's on the top of the mountain, and you want to go there. Is that true? Yes. Are you willing to do the work? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. You don't seem enthusiastic. Yes. Are you willing to do the work? Yes. Are you willing to get rejected? Yes. Are you willing to go and clean out that shit in your head? That negative voice that tells you that you can't do something. Yes. Guys, Peter talked about it yesterday, but I'm going to talk about it from my perspective is that every single one of you, you were born a champion, okay? Because you won the first swimming competition. You were that sperm, like, you found that egg, and you made it. You were born a champion. 350 to 400 other sperms were out there. And I loved Peter's, like yesterday, it was like, yeah, swimming upwards in the dark. You guys made it, okay? So when you were born a champion. You were not born with fears or anything like that. You were just born to come out and take over the world. So make sure you are going to talk to yourself every morning like that you are the true champion. I'm not joking, guys. I wake up in the morning and I'm going and see the mirror and I'm completely naked. I go, you still got it. You're still sexy. I don't care if it looks like this or looks like this or looks like that. I don't care. I'm still sexy because if I don't tell myself I'm sexy and I come on this stage and don't feel sexy, I'm going to be, hey guys, I'm really sorry I'm in this health business, you know. It doesn't really work, you know. So I tell myself and I talk to myself and I honestly do believe it today. Some of you are laughing, but I do believe I'm sexy and that's for me. That's what it's all about. You need to talk to yourself and let you know how powerful you are. But the great thing about it, when we go on our journey, we go and start this and we look at the mountain and go, hey, I'm going to go that mountain. I'm so excited. Ooh. But the journey doesn't start there. It starts with the first presentation. That's where it starts. You go on your first presentation, you go like, you're so, like, yeah, I'm so excited. You go like, you come from a meeting, you're like, oh my God, I can do this. You go home and talk to your spouse and they're like, what? You talk to your brother, your mother, your sister, your friend, they're like, what? So then you go like, poof. And you're like, you call your sponsor like, yeah, I'm not really sure I can do this. And then the sponsor go, yeah, I'm back on it, I can do it, oh yeah. And that's like how it is in the beginning, up and down, until you come to a point, and this is the critical point, guys. This here point is when most people quit. And you know they quit before they have even spoken to 3 people. That's the sad thing. But when they come here and they make a little bit of money, that's when their journey starts, guys. Okay? That's when you are looking at this mountain. It's not a difficult one. It has ring roads up it like that. So let's, in Portuguese, what do you call this here? Baby steps. What do you call this in Portuguese? Oh, too difficult. What do you call this in Norwegian? Baby steps. That's English. Okay, let's just go with that then, baby steps. You can decide to go from loser land to the success land by taking baby steps, okay? You seem like a strong man. Can you come up and help me? Can you do me one favor? Can you just stand here? What's your name, sir?
Andreas.
Andreas, nice to meet you, Andreas. Andreas is going to demonstrate how easy our business is, okay? Andreas, I want you to stand like this.
Yes.
Put one leg like that. Can you do that for me? Come on.
Oh, come on.
Okay. And now, for the next 10 minutes, I only want you to move this leg up here in 10 minutes. You can't move fast. You have to go 10 minutes. So you're going to lift your leg, and in 10 minutes, you're going to take this leg to the end, okay? But you're going to do it in 10 minutes, starting now. Okay, Andreas, start. Take like, okay? 10 minutes, okay? You can do it. I believe in you, man. You can do it. Do you believe in him? Yeah. No, don't put your leg down. You have to keep balance. You have to do it, man. Come on. Don't fake it. Just do it. So, what is interesting, guys, is that Andreas, in 7 minutes, he's going to go like, nah, too boring. I'm going to quit. Thank you, Andreas. Don't need to do that anymore. Thank you. So, nobody is going to be going like 10 minutes, you know. They're just going to quit. And if I personally, you see how good shape I'm in. I go to the gym every day. I'm really fit and healthy. If I join your business, I go like boom, boom, running like crazy. I'm going to be out of breath straight away. I'm going, I can't do this. You know, so you just have to go on your own speed and a little bit faster, okay? But in that journey, you go back on the mountain, what is interesting, you're not alone in the mountain because when you're going up that mountain, you get this, safety rail all the way up the mountain, helping you, supporting you so you can enjoy. When you're walking there, you don't have to fall off. You can enjoy the view. You can see what's happening. And then what you do as well, you have material, you have people like Frazer, your uplines, everybody in the business going, hey, can I help you? Give me your hand. I will help you. Whatever you need, I'll walk with you. And that's what it's all about, guys. You have so much support in this business. It's ridiculous. We overcomplicate things too much. Just go out. And the simple thing is, don't hang around. Just go out and make it happen for yourself. Can you do that? Yes. Can you fix your mindset? Yes. Can you clean out that shit? Yes. Thank you. I've been honored to be here with you on stage today, but one thing I want to do with you before I leave is because I want to put the energy a little bit higher. I think you guys are a little bit asleep, so I want to get you into a different state of mind. In a couple of seconds, I'm going to change all of your mindset in a better energy. Can you do that with me? Yes. We're going to do a little thing here. It takes not such a long time. I want all of you to stand up, and I want all of you to do this. I'm going to demonstrate it once, and then I want you guys to do it exactly the same thing 3 times. Okay? And you gotta put everything in it. Everything. Can you promise me to do that? Yes. Everything! Yes. You promise? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna show you. You have to do this. You go, yes! Okay, now we all do it together 3 times, and you go crazy, and on the last yes, you keep it as long as possible. You promise? Yes. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Yes! 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 Thank you!
Give it up for Kristján! So good. So good.